Good morning, folks. Here's an update on where I stand with the two models I'm building for the Aurora model kits group build. First of all, the little Fokker D8 or E5. I had been waiting for oil paints so that I could do the painting of the wing. Now, I had some information. I actually did a little bit of research on what would be the right colors, livery for this plane, which saw very, very limited service during the Great War. And this was something I found on, I'm trying to remember if it was a modeling channel or a World War I, just general or aircraft channel. But the wing, the top side, it's a wooden wing, and it had alternating streaked brown and green paint applied in a diagonal fashion, I guess about a 10-degree angle or so. The underside had magenta and blue. Pretty cool. I knew I was going to need oil paints for that, and I did not have any magenta, blue, or green. I did have brown, so I thought I'd practice and start. The other paints arrived, by the way. So, of course, they take a long while to dry. So here is the green and brown top side, but it's not on the Aurora wing. This is the Edard wing, which is perfect shape, exactly as it should look. And I'm not going to use it because while in theory I could use an aftermarket part, the wing is the biggest thing on the plane, literally, and it really turns an Aurora kit into something that's basically indistinguishable from the Edard kit. I know because I have built both versions. So that's okay. The Aurora kit in its own way, the Aurora wing has its own style. I don't know what the designers were thinking. It's about the same length, but it's a lot narrower. The cutout at the top is completely different and wrong, but I have put the brown on. I have to wait a while for that to dry, like a couple more days before I then do the green. Probably wait about 4 or 5 days for that to dry, and then I'll do the underside. And then start assembly with getting the wing on and all the few other pieces that remain to be attached, and the Fokker D8 will be done. With respect to the de Havilland DH10, I was mulling over, well, could I do anything with the interior, but I had no pictures. No interior pictures or good reference material. And my thanks to Ian, who sent me some wonderful photographs from a book he has, blueprints. I printed out blueprints of the DH10. That's going to help with the rigging. And then I've got some great black and white. Somewhere, the picture of the interior. There's a great picture of the interior, such as it is, especially the forward cabin or cockpit area. So I am going to do a little bit of scratch building to add to that model. While I've been waiting, I have been assembling the crew, and these are aftermarket resin figures from Aerobonos, and I have a pilot and one of the gunners painted, and another one of the gunners about 90% painted. You may notice he's the headless gunner of Bristol or wherever. Wherever in northern France, actually, perhaps these planes took off from. One mission during the Great War. I screwed up painting the head, and I just made it worse and worse and worse. So there was a decapitation involved, and I found another head, which I have primed, and we'll be doing some surgery, and then I'll paint that head, and I'll have my crew completed. And again, just to keep my hand in it, I've also been painting some 132nd scale figures, and maybe, if the mood strikes me at some point, I will do a separate video, off subject, not about the Aurora group build, but about what happens or is happening these days when you order a kit directly from Latvia, which hasn't been shipped yet. And Latvia, for the benefit of a certain occupant of a certain big office a long ways from here, Latvia is a member of the European Union, which is really, in the scheme of things, what's going to happen there is the least of the issues that I will be facing, along with 360 million other Americans very soon, or already have. Okay, enough about that. That's the update. Progress on the models is coming along, and I'm looking forward to finishing up the Fokker D8 probably at the end of the week. It takes a long time for oil paint to dry, especially streaked on like that, and then turning my attention to the bigger bomber. Thanks for watching.